Detroit halved. Once 2 million people, now less than 1 million. Detroit. And if you want to look at downtown Detroit, these blocks right in here, I submit a model that I made 10 years ago or so. I'm sure this is still pretty representative of the building positions and sizes as back then. But the occupation has changed for sure, but let's just talk about then. This will be like, 98 maybe? What I've tried to represent here is with wood dowels, we have the heights of the buildings, the space the buildings occupy, and the wax is the only spaces that are used downtown here, again, that were used at the time I built this model. Population dropped from 2 million to 1 million, and that's pretty dramatic in itself. As far as I know, it's the only American city who's of this size whose population is cut in half like this. And if you think about it, that means all of your support, everything people use, the demand is cut in half. That means half of all restaurants can't support themselves. Half of all hotels, and that's a good example. These both here were built as hotels. One of them is empty except for the first couple floors. The other one is still in use and is pretty high scale. It's used primarily by businessmen traveling. A lot of the spaces here are vacant on the top floors. You'll see broken windows, and a lot of the windows are covered up by plywood. Some of the buildings are still maintained and are filled with offices. Some, because the first couple floors are more valuable for their ability to bring in walk-in customers, some of the first floors aren't used, even though the buildings above are, because no one's willing to pay for the space. And some dramatic things that happen in Detroit because of this: half of all theaters closed, and there's a theater that has been shelled out, the seats removed, and instead there's a parking structure. You can drive in and see all the old decorations on the walls and ceiling.